Hello everyone, welcome back to Healthy Care. Every year, up to 240,000 Americans experience a transient ischemic attack TIA, often called a mini stroke. At first glance, TIAs may seem harmless because their symptoms typically last just a few minutes before disappearing. But don't be deceived by their brief nature. A TIA is like your body's urgent warning signal. Ignore it, and the risk of a major stroke skyrockets. Statistics show that 1 in 5 people who suffer a TIA will have a full-blown stroke within 90 days, with older adults at the highest risk. A TIA occurs when blood flow to the brain is temporarily interrupted, cutting off oxygen and causing symptoms such as numbness on one side of the body, dizziness, or difficulty speaking. Unlike a full stroke, a TIA doesn't cause immediate permanent damage. However, that doesn't mean it's harmless. On the contrary, it's a red flag indicating that serious trouble lies ahead, a wake-up call to act before it's too late. Why is recognizing a TIA so crucial? Studies show that 1 in 3 people who experience a TIA will have a major stroke soon after, and nearly half of those strokes occur within the first 48 hours. This is why you simply cannot afford to ignore any fleeting symptoms. A full-blown stroke can result in devastating consequences, such as paralysis, loss of speech, or even death. But there's good news. If you identify a TIA early and take quick action, you can significantly reduce your risk of a major stroke. With the right interventions, medications, lifestyle changes, or medical procedures, doctors can help you steer away from danger before it's too late. Recognizing the signs and responding promptly is not just important, it's the key to safeguarding your health and quality of life. So, what exactly is a TIA? Why is it so dangerous? And what can you do to protect yourself and your loved ones? Let's explore this critical warning sign in detail and learn how to act before it's too late. 8. Tingling sensations. Tingling sensations, often described as a pins and needles feeling, can also be a warning sign of a mini stroke or TIA. This sensation usually appears suddenly, often affecting just one side of the body, like an arm, leg, or even the face. While it might seem minor and easy to dismiss, this symptom shouldn't be ignored, because it's a signal that something is interfering with blood flow to specific areas of the brain. The challenge with tingling sensations is that they can easily be mistaken for other, more common issues like a pinched nerve, carpal tunnel syndrome, or even sleeping in an awkward position. However, when the cause is a TIA, it's a temporary interruption in blood supply to the nerves that control sensation, not a physical compression of the nerves themselves. What sets TIA-related tingling apart is its sudden onset and the fact that it typically occurs alongside other warning signs like dizziness, vision changes, or slurred speech. If you experience sudden, unexplained tingling, especially on one side of your body, don't brush it off as something harmless. It could be a critical warning sign of a larger stroke on the horizon. Seek medical attention right away. Early intervention could prevent serious complications. 7. Brief loss of consciousness. A brief loss of consciousness, such as fainting or suddenly feeling unusually drowsy, can be a warning sign of a mini stroke or TIA. While it's easy to dismiss these episodes as dehydration, low blood sugar, or fatigue, they might indicate something much more serious: temporary disruption of blood flow to your brain. When the brain doesn't get enough oxygen and nutrients, even for a short time, it can cause you to feel lightheaded, weak, or completely lose consciousness. This happens because the brain relies on a constant and steady supply of blood to function properly. During a TIA, A temporary blockage or narrowing in a blood vessel interrupts that flow. Depending on the area of the brain affected, this can result in fainting or extreme drowsiness. While these symptoms are temporary, they're a red flag that your brain isn't getting the circulation it needs. What's especially concerning is that many people brush off these incidents, particularly in older adults, as just a spell or nothing serious. But ignoring them could lead to a major stroke down the road with permanent consequences. If you or a loved one experiences a sudden loss of consciousness or unusual drowsiness, don't wait, seek immediate medical attention. It could save a life. 6. Severe headaches. Severe headaches are not the most common symptom of a mini stroke or TIA, but they can occur in certain cases, especially if there's vascular stress or a sudden change in blood flow within the brain. These headaches tend to come on quickly and feel different from your typical tension or migraine headaches. They're often described as sharp, intense, or unusual. So why does this happen? During a TIA, a temporary blockage in a blood vessel can trigger changes in pressure or irritation in the blood vessels of the brain. While TIAs generally don't cause permanent damage, the stress on the vascular system may lead to sudden unexplained headaches in some individuals. It's important to recognize the difference. Unlike regular headaches, TIA-related headaches may come with other warning signs, such as dizziness, vision changes, slurred speech, or numbness. These additional symptoms are key indicators that the headache could be part of something much more serious. For elderly individuals, sudden severe headaches should never be dismissed as just a headache. If they're accompanied by any other neurological symptoms, they could signal a TA or even a larger stroke in progress. Seeking immediate medical attention could save your life or prevent long-term complications. 5. Dizziness, or loss of balance. Dizziness, or a sudden loss of balance, can be another key warning sign of a mini stroke or TIA. It might feel like the room is spinning, you're lightheaded, or you're unsteady on your feet, sometimes leading to unexpected falls. For many older adults, this symptom can be confusing because it's easy to attribute dizziness to something like dehydration, low blood sugar, or even an inner ear condition such as vertigo. While inner ear problems affect balance by disrupting signals from your ear to your brain, dizziness caused by a TIA has a very different underlying cause. In the case of a mini stroke, the problem lies with blood flow. When blood supply to the areas of the brain responsible for coordination and equilibrium is temporarily disrupted, you may experience sudden unexplained balance issues or dizziness. The key difference is that TIA-related dizziness often appears out of nowhere and may accompany other warning signs like numbness, vision changes, or difficulty speaking. While these episodes might pass quickly, they're not harmless. They are a critical red flag that your brain isn't getting enough oxygen. If you or a loved one experiences sudden dizziness or balance problems, seek medical attention immediately. It could prevent a serious stroke down the line. 4. Sudden confusion. Sudden confusion is a warning sign of a mini stroke that can easily be mistaken for something less serious, like fatigue, stress, or even early signs of dementia. It can manifest as difficulty concentrating, disorientation, or trouble remembering simple things. You might feel mentally foggy, unable to process information, or even confused about where you are or what you're doing. This cognitive impairment happens because a mini stroke disrupts blood flow to areas of the brain responsible for thinking, memory, and problem solving. Even though the symptoms usually last only a few minutes to an hour, they're a clear signal that something is wrong. Unfortunately, this confusion is often dismissed in elderly individuals as part of aging or memory lapses, which can delay critical medical attention. Here's what's important to understand: while dementia develops gradually, sudden confusion from a TI is abrupt and temporary. It's your body's way of sending a loud warning that the brain isn't getting the blood supply it needs. Ignoring it increases the risk of a full-blown stroke, which can cause permanent cognitive damage. If you or a loved one experiences sudden confusion, don't second-guess it. Get medical help right away to protect brain health and prevent long-term complications. 3. Difficulty speaking or slurred speech. Difficulty speaking or slurred speech is another major warning sign of a mini stroke or TIA, and it's one that often surprises people. This can show up as trouble forming words, speaking clearly, or even understanding what others are saying. You might feel like the words are on the tip of your tongue, but they just won't come out right, or they come out jumbled. This is often linked to a condition called aphasia, which is a temporary inability to process or express language due to reduced blood flow to the areas of the brain responsible for speech and comprehension. When a mini stroke occurs, even for a few minutes, it can disrupt these regions, leaving you struggling to communicate clearly. People around you might notice slurred or garbled speech, or you might find it difficult to follow what they're saying. While these symptoms may only last a short time, they're not something to dismiss as stress or fatigue. TIs are warning signs of a larger stroke that could result in permanent damage to your ability to speak or understand. If you or someone you know experiences sudden speech difficulties like this, don't hesitate, seek medical attention immediately. Early action could make all the difference in preventing a more serious stroke. 2. Temporary vision changes. Another warning sign of a mini stroke in the elderly is sudden vision changes. This might include blurriness, double vision, or even temporary blindness in one or both eyes. While these episodes are often brief, they're a serious indicator that something is disrupting blood flow to your brain or the areas responsible for vision. One specific condition associated with mini strokes is called amaurosis fugax, a temporary loss of vision usually in one eye. It's caused by a lack of blood flow to the retina, which acts as a warning that a major stroke could be imminent. People who experience this might describe it as a curtain or shadow falling over their vision, which can last a few seconds or minutes before it resolves. It's important to understand that these vision changes aren't random. They occur because a mini stroke disrupts oxygen and nutrient supply to key parts of the brain and eyes. If you or a loved one notices sudden changes in vision like this, don't brush it off as fatigue or strain. It's your body's way of alerting you to a serious problem. Seek medical attention immediately, because addressing the issue early could prevent a life-threatening or disabling stroke. 1. Sudden weakness or numbness. The warning sign of a mini stroke or TIA is sudden weakness or numbness, often on one side of the body. This can affect the face, an arm, or a leg. While it might seem minor or fleeting, it's one of the most common indicators that something isn't right. You might notice a drooping mouth, an arm that feels heavy and hard to lift, or a tingling sensation in your leg. These symptoms typically last only a few minutes to an hour, but even if they resolve quickly, they shouldn't be ignored. So why does this happen? It's all about blood flow. A mini stroke occurs when a blood vessel temporarily becomes blocked or narrowed, reducing oxygen supply to a specific region of the brain. If the area affected controls motor functions or sensation on one side of your body, you'll experience sudden weakness or numbness. The good news is that this is temporary, because the blood flow is restored before permanent damage occurs. However, it's a red flag your brain is signaling that a larger stroke could be on the way. Recognizing and acting on this warning sign could make all the difference in preventing severe long-term complications. Risk factors for mini strokes in the elderly. Mini strokes, or transient ischemic attacks (TIAs), don't occur by chance. They are often the result of underlying health conditions and lifestyle choices that compromise blood flow to the brain. One of the most significant risk factors is high blood pressure, which weakens blood vessels and increases the likelihood of blockages or narrowing. Diabetes is another major contributor. It damages blood vessels over time, reducing the brain's oxygen supply. Atrial fibrillation (AFib), an irregular heartbeat, is particularly dangerous as it can cause blood clots to form and travel to the brain. Other heart conditions, like coronary artery disease, also elevate the risk of a TIA. Lifestyle habits cannot be overlooked either. Smoking damages blood vessels and raises clotting risks, while obesity and a sedentary lifestyle put immense strain on cardiovascular health, forming a perfect storm for TIAs and potentially a severe stroke. The key takeaway? Time is everything. If a TIA strikes, acting quickly, ideally within the golden hour, is crucial to minimizing damage. Use the FAST method. Check for changes in the face, arms, and speech, and note the time symptoms began. Early intervention, through diagnostic tools like MRI, CT scans, or carotid ultrasounds, allows doctors to locate blockages and damaged vessels, ensuring timely treatment to save lives. Treatment options and prevention strategies. If you or a loved one has experienced a TIA or is at high risk, the good news is that effective treatments and preventive measures are within reach. Medications are often the first line of defense. Antiplatelet drugs, such as aspirin, help prevent blood cells from clumping together to form dangerous clots. For those with conditions like atrial fibrillation, anticoagulants, or blood thinners are prescribed to prevent clots from forming in the heart and traveling to the brain. However, long-term prevention doesn't stop with medications. Lifestyle changes play an equally vital role. Embracing a heart-healthy diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats can reduce cholesterol and improve vascular health. Regular exercise, even gentle activities like walking or yoga, helps control weight, lowers blood pressure, and boosts circulation. Kicking harmful habits such as smoking and excessive alcohol consumption is also critical to minimizing stroke risk. Managing chronic conditions like hypertension, diabetes, and high cholesterol is non-negotiable. Regular checkups, appropriate medications, and a proactive approach to keeping these conditions under control can significantly reduce the chance of a repeat TIA or a devastating stroke. Prevention is more than just avoiding danger. It's about safeguarding your brain, heart, and quality of life for years to come. How families can support elderly loved ones. When an elderly loved one is at risk of, or recovering from, a TIA, family support becomes invaluable. Your role can make all the difference in their health and well-being. First, understanding and recognizing the symptoms is critical. Elderly individuals may downplay subtle signs like sudden slurred speech, facial drooping, confusion, or temporary numbness. As a family member, being aware of these red flags and acting immediately can save a life. If you notice anything unusual, don't hesitate. Call for emergency assistance right away. Encouraging regular health checkups is another important step. Help your loved ones monitor risk factors like blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels. Join them in adopting healthier habits, cook nutritious meals together, go for daily walks, or participate in light exercises. These activities not only improve their health but also strengthen family bonds, making lifestyle changes feel less daunting. Lastly, provide consistent emotional and logistical support. Offer to drive them to doctor appointments, remind them to take their medications, and reassure them during what can be an anxious and uncertain time. Your presence, patience, and understanding will give them the confidence to prioritize their health. Remember, small actions on your part can lead to life-changing outcomes for your loved one. Mini strokes or TS may seem small, but they are powerful warnings of a potential major stroke. These brief episodes are your body's way of calling for help, signals that should never be ignored. Acting quickly, recognizing the symptoms, and making positive changes like managing health conditions and adopting a heart-healthy lifestyle can be life-saving. Your health, and the health of your loved ones, are worth the effort. Stay informed, take action, and be the reason someone you care about lives a longer, healthier life. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Healthy Care for more tips on protecting your well-being. Together, we can build a healthier future, one step at a time.